No matter how hard the past is, you can always begin again. With this quote, I would like to wish everybody present here a very good evening. Dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to today's meeting. As you might have guessed, the theme of the meeting is Fresh Beginnings. Without further ado, I would like to read out the online statement and rules of the meeting. By attending the meeting, you agree to the privacy policy of Toastmasters International as well as the hosting service. Your attendance discharges the Toastmasters International from any claims and liabilities arising or in connection to the use and distribution of video recording. Coming to the rules, firstly, please keep your mics on mute during the speeches and videos on at all times. Secondly, please refrain from talking about sex, politics, or religion in a derogatory manner. Last but not the least, please avoid chatting during the speeches. Now, I would like to invite the presidents of the Toastmasters of Delhi Club and Guwahati Toastmasters Club to continue with the further proceedings. Please, presidents.
Thank you, TM Kapil, for a warm welcome. I, on behalf of Guwahati Toastmasters Club, welcome the Toastmasters Club of Delhi to the northeast part of India for a fresh beginning. Right, Amelia ma'am, heartiest welcome to our club and your team to this 21st meeting of Guwahati Toastmasters Club as well as 263rd meeting of Toastmasters Club of Delhi.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much, Toastmaster Monica, for that warm welcome. Yes, I would also like to extend a warm welcome to everyone present here for a joint meet of Guwahati Toastmasters Club and Toastmasters of Delhi. And as we say, every end is a new beginning. So whenever we end one meeting, that gives us a kick for another meeting or a next meeting or new things to start. So well said, Toastmaster Monica. And now it's time to also check if we have few guests here. And of course, our lovely tech masters and Toastmaster Rohan and Toastmaster Aruna would be able to check and let us know, do we have any guests? I believe we have Arjun as guest here. Is Arjun a guest here today?
Yes, ma'am. I think he's a guest over here. Arjun, will you please unmute yourself and introduce to all of us?
Good afternoon, Arjun. Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so a very warm welcome to this awesome meeting for today. We just would like to know what brings you to Toastmasters meeting and how do you get to know about this?
Actually, I was preparing for my MBA. So for public speaking and all, I searched for online and on Instagram. So I came across the page Toastmasters Delhi. Then I joined the impromptu hive through that link, and then I came to the club.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you already have taken the first step. A beginning has probably begun for you. And now it would be time for you to go ahead and be a part of these meetings and soon be a Toastmaster, because Toastmasters is a platform since 1925 where we practice communication and leadership skill. It's a place where you exploit your own potentials and learn every time and grow together as a family, as a team. So warm welcome to this meeting again. We have Arvind Deora, I believe, as a guest as well.
He's the speaker today. He's the speaker
Sorry,
today.
Amelia ma'am.
Okay.
He's a speaker. He's a member of Guwahati Toastmasters.
Okay, okay.
Riddhi is there, ma'am. Riddhi Agarwal is there as a guest.
Hi, Riddhi. Hi, Riddhi. Good afternoon. If you can hear us, you can.
Hi, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon. Very warm welcome to this meeting, this joint meeting. And it's a joint effort of Guwahati Toastmasters Club and Toastmasters of Delhi. So what brings you here today? We really love to hear from you. And what do you expect from Toastmasters meeting?
Firstly, thank you so much for the warm welcome here, ma'am. It's my first meeting. I've always seen my aunt being so enthused about the sessions here. And just seeing how improve we get with all speeches, and how excited we get getting improved with our own language. That is the first motivation for me to get here in this meeting. So hopefully I get to join Toastmasters and I get to learn more. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I would say all the guests, and I would request all the guests to stay till the end, because after the prepared speeches, there will be a table topic session where you can participate in impromptu speeches and test your waters on impromptu speaking skills. And that would be something great to do.
And it could be, ma'am, that could add to the fresh beginning of joining Toastmasters too.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Toastmaster Monica. And now is the time, I believe, as we don't see any more guests, let's move on.
Rajiv sir is here. Toastmaster
yes.
Rajiv.
Oh yes, Toastmaster Rajiv Khanna, welcome to the club meeting. Happy to see you here today. And would you like to say something?
Just hello, I'm calling from Washington, D.C., member of 2 different Toastmaster clubs, one in New Delhi and one in Washington. And I'm happy to see you all. Thank you for hosting.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rajiv sir. And of course, seeing Toastmasters connecting across the globe, it's definitely a great, I would say, a feeling altogether. And of course, as this fresh beginning of this meeting today is going to be a great one, I feel so. I can really feel that already. And I believe we have another guest here, Devika Chokhani and Raghav Mittal. Hi, Devika.
Hello, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Are you a guest here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Devika, I'm not able to hear you so clearly. If you can please speak up a bit.
Yeah. Am I audible right now, ma'am?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
So how did you come to know about Toastmasters of Delhi, and what brings you here today?
So basically, right now I'm pursuing a company certificate. So yeah, I thought that this skill will help me more in my professional field also. And I got to know about Toastmasters Guwahati from my friend's mom. She is also in this club. So I saw her very active in the meeting, and I feel that Toastmasters is a great platform where we can upskill us.
Right, Devika, and you really heard it right. Toastmasters is definitely a very dynamic and a wonderful platform. Of course, most welcome. Please stay with us for impromptu speeches. I'm sure you will have a good time in participating in it. And I'd also like to ask Raghav Mittal, as he's a guest here today. Hi, Raghav. Good evening.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, good evening, ma'am. Yeah, I'm also a guest today.
Okay, welcome to the meeting. And just want to quickly know from you, what brings you here today?
Yeah, just I got to know about the Toastmasters from my college club. Like there's a club of the Toastmasters in my college also. So
Okay.
I got to know from there. Then I searched on the net if there's a club in my city, in the Guwahati. So I searched about it, and then I contacted the Vivek sir, Toastmaster Vivek Devda, and I came to know about there's a club also. So to get a hack of the public speaking, that's the basic why I joined this club. I'm planning to join this club.
Wonderful. You are definitely at the right place. And how many times should I say this? You are definitely at the right place. So welcome to the club meeting. And I would also encourage you to participate in impromptu speeches. Be with us till the end, because every aspect of these meetings are a learning process. I'm sure you will understand as you will experience this meeting today. And Monica, ma'am, I believe, Toastmaster Monica, I believe we have one more guest, Karun Roongta here. Would you like to ask him?
Ma'am, he's a treasurer. Ma'am, he's a treasurer.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
okay, yes. Okay, yes.
Sorry, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yes, Toastmaster Monica, you were saying something. Please carry on.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I just wanted to add to it. So for all the guests who are present over here, they are lucky to witness the meetings of 2 clubs, one from Northeast and one from North. I wish you all the best, and I extend my heartiest welcome to each and every member present over here.
Thank you so much. And yes, same feeling conveyed to all present here. And I just noticed Arjun, we have a guest here, I believe, Arjun, because he is not named as a role player. Arjun, can you hear us? Or did we speak to Arjun? I'm not too
He's
sure.
already introduced himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have Soumya as well. Soumya, can you hear us? Not sure if she's a guest or a Toastmaster. No worries, I believe she's away from the phone. So probably she will connect with us towards the end of the or middle of the meeting. Now is the time to call on our Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster of the day is quite a versatile Toastmaster, flexible, always approachable, always ready with the same energy levels and same spirits. And what a smile every time when we see her. And of course, that makes me say, what a fresh beginning to this Toastmaster meeting today. So I would like to call on, and Toastmaster Monica, please join me in applauding our Toastmaster of the day, welcoming her on stage, Toastmaster Bandana Singh on the stage. Over to you, Toastmaster Bandana.
Welcome, Bandana, as TMOD of the day, and wish you all the best.
Thank
So
you.
screen is yours. Yeah.
Thank you. Here I am. This is me. There's nowhere else on earth I'd rather be. Here I am. It's me and you. Tonight we make our dreams come true. It's a new world. It's a new start. It's alive with the beating of young hearts. It's a new day.
Seems there is a technical glitch with our Toastmaster of the day. And while she probably resumes, that was a beautiful song that she was humming. And of course, welcome back, Bandana.
What happened?
We really don't know, but you were frozen and we were a little wondering, but now happy to see you back.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yes. Here I am waiting for all of you to join us to 263rd meeting of Delhi Toastmasters Club and 21st meeting of Guwahati Toastmasters Club. Today with the theme, Fresh Beginning. Welcome one, welcome all. When anything good happens, we often feel sad. Whenever anything good ends, we often feel sad. Why did this have to end? Conventional wisdom reminds us that endings are also beginnings. New beginnings. Every end is a start of something new. In Japanese culture, if a ceramic pot breaks, then it's customary to join it again with gold to reflect that broken pieces are still beautiful. This process is called wabi-sabi. It similarly applies in our life as well, because with every fall, we learn to get up again, correct our mistakes, learn from it, and move forward. Even Phoenix rises from the ashes in Greek mythology. Holy scriptures of Hinduism, Bhagavad journey of spiritual evolution, where death is the beginning of a new phase. All in all, my take on this theme concludes on these lines. Behind every beginning dwells an ending, and within an ending dwells a new beginning, a fresh beginning. With this, let me introduce also to what Toastmasters is all about. For the benefit of our guests and new members, Toastmaster International is a non-profit organization that helps you improve your public speaking and leadership skills. Its tagline says, where leaders are made. It was launched by Ralph C. Smedley in 1924. It is headquartered in Colorado, USA. The organization has more than 352,000 members in 141 countries with 16,400 clubs and even more than that. Since 1924, Toastmaster International has helped people of all backgrounds become more confident in front of an audience. With this, I'll brief on 3 sessions of any Toastmasters meeting. First one, prepared speech, which allows members to deliver their speech based on chosen path and level. Second, table topics, which requires you to think on your feet and deliver an impromptu speech on the chosen topic. And the third, evaluation, which ensures that speeches are checked by evaluators who will present their observations. Let me take this opportunity now to call our general evaluator for the day. She is a Toastmaster for almost 2 years now. She enjoys the creative side of speech writing and delivery and the camaraderie of Toastmaster meetings, much more than a truly being interested in improving public speaking skills. She constantly seeks inspiration. She is none other than Toastmaster Astha Khandelwal. Please welcome her on virtual dais with a big round of applause. Toastmaster Astha Khandelwal.
Thank you so much, TMOD Vandana Singh, for that very enthusiastic welcome. It is a great day today as we look into an icebreaker marathon. Our icebreaker speakers today have already learned quite a bit about how to structure their speech and worked with their mentors, maybe learned a lot more about themselves as well. Today, they will also be exposed to the critical pillar of Toastmasters learning curriculum, which is evaluation and feedback. We learn through evaluation and feedback from our peers. In this meeting, it's a safe spot. Welcome to everybody, all the Toastmasters today. I would like to introduce the amazing tag team that will be working with me today to provide that critical learning to all our new speakers. I'll start with Toastmaster Nidhi, who is playing the role of the timer today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Astha. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. As a timer today, I will time the table topic speakers, the formal speakers, prepared speeches, and individual evaluators. I will also alert its speakers the time they have left through the signal green, yellow, and the red by sharing my screen. At the end of the meeting, I will come back in this virtual screen when called upon to share the results of its speaker. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nidhi. That was a crisp introduction to your role. I would now like to call upon Toastmaster Aruna to introduce the R counter role.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The commencement of anything strange or new creates a lot of apprehension in us, which create a lot of, well, so, like, but, and long pauses and unnecessary repetition and crutch words. But if we are well prepared, it keeps the ball rolling. Today, as the R counter for the meeting, I would be taking note of all the crutch words, filler words, and unnecessary pauses and repetitions. I'll come with my report when called upon by the General Evaluator. Thank you. Over to you, GE. Hello.
Toastmaster
Hello?
Astha? Yeah,
I'm sorry, there's been a load shedding at my end, as you can see from the darkness. While I sort my Wi-Fi out, can I quickly request the grammarian for the day to please speak up on their role, Toastmaster Bandana? Toastmaster Basuri, sorry.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Me and Basuri Pottar. Today, I am standing over you to give my icebreaker speech. Toastmasters, didn't I make a hell lot of grammatical errors? Well, you don't have to worry at all, because your grammarian for the day, that is me, is going to be there for rescue. I will applaud all your grammatical winnings and also help you with the grammatical errors you make. There are two words for the day, that is commence and set the ball rolling. Both these words mean to start. So ladies and gentlemen, let's commence the meeting with lots of enthusiasm and set the ball rolling to an unforgettable evening. Thank you. We'll meet you all again later.
Thank you, Toastmaster Basuri, for that high energy introduction. Now on to our active listener for today, Toastmaster Kamal. Toastmaster Kamal, please tell us a little bit about your role.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. So, hello everyone, and good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. So, I'm the active listener of the day. Being a good listener is just as important as being a good speaker. As an active listener today, I will note down tidbits of information from any of the speaker and put the question at the end of the meeting to check if everyone was paying attention. With that, thank you so much, General Evaluator. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kamal. We will, of course, all of us return in the evaluation section also with the great speech evaluators who will help our icebreaker speakers today to learn from this peer review of their speech today. I wish them all the very best. Back to you, T.M. Modi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asta, for your wonderful introduction to your phenomenal tag team players. With this, we may commence the meeting. And moving forward, it's time to introduce the first section of our meeting. We are not only looking forward to a fresh beginning with Toastmasters, taking their first step in the new pathway this term, but also learning new things from their experience. With this, let me call upon our first speaker of the day, who is a prolific speaker, an eloquent orator, and a passionate Toastmaster. He's a solo traveler, a podcaster, and avid reader. To evaluate him, we will be having Toastmaster Shashwati as his evaluator. May I please call upon Toastmaster Shashwati to lay down the speech objectives?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. And a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Rohan. The purpose
you may wish to unmute yourself. Yes.
I did. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, Shashwati.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. The purpose of the project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Timer, please note the time limit is 4 to 6 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster Rohan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shashwati, for laying down the speech objectives. These objectives will remain constant for all the following speakers today. Let me call upon my first speaker, Toastmaster Rohan Bansal. Again, Toastmaster Rohan Bansal. All the best.
Are you serious? Do you mean to say I have to introduce myself again for the second time in a row? These questions were ringing through my mind as I read the evaluation of the icebreaker speech. For all those who don't know me, this is the second time on stage I am introducing myself to you. The first time was 2.5 years ago at Toastmasters of Delhi. It was a bustling environment. I still remember that day. I was incredibly shy, anxious, and not to mention sweating out of my shirt, which I still am today. But today I come at you with a different perspective altogether. Madam Toastmaster of the Day, fellow fresh beginners and guests. So much has changed in the last 2.5 years since I've joined Toastmasters of Delhi. Don't you think so? Not just in the world around us, of course, but also in the way our perspectives have changed over the last 2.5 years. But let's keep that aside for now. Keep aside the fact that I'm on a virtual stage rather than a physical stage with a 25-30 crowd audience in front of me, staring into my eyes. I want to focus my speech today on two themes that have defined the roller coaster of my life so far. The first theme is coming out of my comfort zone and taking more risks in life. The second theme that defines my life is creating a new identity for myself. So let's go over both these themes in this icebreaker speech. The first theme is coming out of my comfort zone, taking more risks. Just to give you a recap, this was the theme that I used in the last icebreaker speech. For all the new faces, all the new TMODians and Guwahati Toastmaster Club, I started off with my education and my job in very comfortable schools, very comfortable colleges, very comfortable job at an investment bank. But as I traveled solo across the world, my perspectives changed. I started to take more risks, and I decided at the end of 2 years of my first job, I quit to start my own business. That completely took a U-turn into my life and what I thought of life. Every single thing changed in my life. Taking risk into entrepreneurship, taking risk into different business projects. I grew out of my comfort zone. I grew out of the norms that society, my parents, and everyone else around me had set for me. So that was the first theme. Coming to the second theme, the most important theme that has defined my life for the last 2.5 years. Now that I have the risk-taking ability in the first theme, first part of my life, the second theme explores releasing myself out of the labels that I created for myself. Introvert, shy, being a follower rather than a leader. I let all these models define me and label myself, and this restricted me from doing the things that I really enjoyed the most. So I took some action around it. Since joining Toastmasters, I immediately started volunteering as an associate for the executive committee in June 2019. I had the best BP education Toastmaster Chauvinindo guide me on how to be a leader, be a caring and compassionate leader. That led me to take up the roles of secretary, president, and now VP education. I started my own travel podcast. Can you believe it? An introverted, shy personality who couldn't even speak to people is now having conversations. I have never felt so myself than when I do my podcast. The third, I'm building a personal brand, not only professionally with my role as a strategy professional, but also separately as a public speaker and a trained moderator. So this has defined the second theme of my life. Releasing myself of the introverted label, of the shy label, and being a true leader. I am so excited for the journey that lies ahead, of the twists and turns that the life can throw at me. And guess what? Toastmasters is right smack in the middle of it. Engaging with wonderful Toastmasters from all over the world has given me the platform to grow and change. Not only at TMOD, but also across the world. And this online medium has given me the capacity to go beyond my comfort zone, go beyond the things and perspectives that I know, and share it with the Toastmasters outside. And this has been such an exciting journey for me. So if Toastmaster Bandana, tomorrow you ask me to deliver my icebreaker again, I am ready to do it again and again and again. Because guess what? Every single icebreaker will have a different content. Because it's all about reinventing the wheel. Again and again and again. I leave you in conclusion with a quote that drives my actions so far. It's by Ralph Waldo Emerson, who says, do not follow a path that's already been created. Go where there's no path and create a trail. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rohan. I'll have to admit that I was privileged. At first, you called me a madam. Then at the end also, you called me a madam. That's huge respect to digest. And the second of all, with your code, I too have a code to resonate same feeling. when Oprah Winfrey says, challenges are gifts that force us to search for a new center of gravity. This pandemic has actually forced us to look for fresh beginnings and collaborate in our fraternity. Glad for me to be a part of your meetings. Moving on, it's time for my second speaker, whose evaluation criteria remains the same. Let me introduce him. He's from Dibrugarh, settled in Guwahati, owner of Palvin Pharmaceuticals Private Limited. His hobbies are reading, photography, listening to motivational talks, and driving. Can someone guess who is this person? From Guwahati Toastmasters Club, people will be able to. It's a brand new edition.
Naveen.
Toastmasters.
Naveen.
Wow. Know their people very well. Please let me welcome Toastmaster Naveen, the next right move. The next right move, Toastmaster Naveen. All the best. You are on mute, sir. You may want to unmute yourself. He's so handsomely dressed. Huh? Full formal.
Okay, am I audible? Am I
Yes,
audible now?
Yes, sir.
Life is a challenge. And the way through challenge is to stay calm and ask yourself, what is the next right move? Madam Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, I am Naveen Sharma and I'm 16,118 days old. Well, I'll leave you to your calculation to check my age. I grew up in a middle class family as a middle child of three. We middle bonds are most willing to wheel the deal, and we are agreeable, diplomatic, as well as compromising and handling with disappointments well. That's the advantage of being a middle child. My father was a strong controlling personality when it came to discipline, or else he was a very cool guy. My elder brother is a software engineer and my younger brother is an ENT surgeon. We are three brothers. Where we are, it's all because of our diligent mother. My father and mother left us 2 years back. I'm blessed with two twin girls and only one wife. Allow me to walk you through the preface of my life and learning. Life as a child was a smooth sail with worries of only books and play. Let me share with you an incident from my childhood. On my way to school, there was a bakery called Indusco Bakery. The aroma of its biscuits were very enticing. That one of my friends used to do a very curious thing over there. Whenever he used to pass through this bakery, he would stop and breathe with his mouth wide open. One day I asked him, why is that every day when you cross this bakery, you breathe deep? He smiled and said, well, I'll tell you a secret. The air tastes biscuit here. Well, that sounded intriguing to me. I decided, let me try to. Kiddish mind. And believe me, it tastes biscuit. That incident taught me an important lesson in life. What we feed our brain, it reacts the same way. I later passed my boards with flying colors and dreamed to join my family clubs of doctors and engineers. But my life had some other plans. College, well, these are boring, not exciting, with books all around and chemistry and physics labs controlling my day-to-day life. After my graduation in statistics, due to my father's illness, I joined business. And once commenced, I thought, what is the next right move? From there, I got involved into myriads of social activities, but one, the Leo movement, that shaped me what I am today. After serving into various positions, I was elected as the district president of the Leo District 322B and was awarded the Distinguished District President from the Lions Clubs International. I learned no man will be a great leader who wants to do things all himself or to get all credit of doing it. Then I joined political activism. It wasn't the smooth sail, friends. I was confronted by the degenerative process of suppression. But I too was very adamant child. I toiled and I reached to a level where I led a national team to do classified work for the party and report directly to the national president. Then again, I thought, what is the next right move? 10 days down the year from being a distributor of a pharma company, I sowed the seed of my own company, Palvin Pharmaceuticals Private Limited. It has been a roller coaster ride. In 5 years, I have achieved a lot, and I dream to achieve a lot more. Life is a challenge, my friends. And the way through this challenge is to stay calm and ask yourself, what is the next right move? I had deep interest in learning, and to set the ball rolling, I joined Toastmasters. And in these few days, I've understood that people don't join Toastmasters because they are great speakers, but they join Toastmasters because they want to become great speakers. I am a visual person, basically. Everything I see, I hear, I experience, I translate it to another image, basically a metaphor. When Toastmaster Chauvinindo, my mentor, told me about breaking the ice, my mind started gambling about, but nothing came around. The next day, I was sitting in my dining table, on my dining table, in fact, after breakfast, and I see my daughters making shape out of doughs. There I realized we are all here for a reason. And my reason for here is not to break the ice, but to curve it and help others on their block of ice without being afraid of breaking it. And to do this, we need our warm, loving hands. Friends, ice is nothing but water. No matter how hard it gets or how hard it gets hit, you always have the ability to melt it and shape it into your desire. This is the ice of my life, and I'm still molding it with my simple question: what is the next right move? Thank you.
Wow. He was a statistics person and moved to pharma business from a distributor to an entrepreneur. What a phenomenal journey you have, sir. And this also reminds me that do not wait until the conditions are perfect to begin. Beginning makes the conditions perfect, and you are a living example of this. Moving on, may I please have my third speaker, who is a businessman, father of two, unfortunately, husband of only one. He wants to get better at public speaking. He's very passionate about sports, loves wandering and getting lost. Please welcome Toastmaster Arvind. What's next? What's next? Toastmaster Arvind. All the best.
A very good afternoon to everyone. A very good afternoon to all the Toastmasters of Guwahati as well as Delhi. What a fantastic opportunity to break the ice today. As I sat on my comfortable couch, critiquing the Indian Olympic team performance, a revelation dawned on me. What had I done with my life to pass judgments on such high performers? Before my conscience could answer that, my wife beat my conscience to it, and I heard it loud, good for nothing in the background. That immediate synchronized response to my inner voice by my wife was gold medal worthy if there was ever such an event at the Olympics. I got up to see what made my wife say that. And I realized she was talking to my son. Relieved, I went back to my couch to criticize the Indian Olympic team performance. However, that episode got me thinking about my life, where I've come from and where I'm headed. If my nostalgia serves me right, I knew where I've come from. But to get an answer of where I'm headed, the chances of getting an answer to where I'm headed is equal to the Indian topping the medal tally at the Olympics. I was born in Dibrugarh in a family of 3 brothers and 1 sister. I was sent to Mayo College, Ajmer, which is a boarding school in Ajmer, Rajasthan. The 9 years spent at Mayo shaped the person that I am today, which is the good part as well as the not so good part. The good part because Mayo is a fantastic place where one oscillates between being comfortable and being out of one's comfort zone. And the not so good part is the 9 years spent there has had more influence on me than the 23 years spent after I passed out from there. If I have to sum up my life, the title would be Blame It on Mayo. Now coming to the question of what next. Roger Federer was gifted a tennis racket at a young age, and he ended up becoming a legend. Abhinav Bindra got an air rifle as a birthday gift, and he ended up winning a gold medal. To use that analogy, I might have to go back to my childhood and find out what gift was I given, which might hold the answer, a key answer to my future. Many scholars have gone to the Himalayas to get enlightenment. Looking at my fitness level, I might have to get the enlightenment somewhere nearby. What I've always believed in is movement is important. It is not good enough just sit on a place and wait for a eureka moment. And that is what I've always tried to do, trying to get better myself every day. This pandemic was a great opportunity to work on oneself. And work I did by reading a plethora of self-help books. By the end of it, it felt like all the self-help gurus were fighting in my head to get an upper hand. To clear my head, I had to finally go back to reading Chetan Bhagat's 1.5 Girlfriend. Or was it half girlfriend? Maybe something like that. The one thing that resonated with me with all these self-help books was that motivation was temporary. I think that was a big revelation for me. Motivation was absolutely temporary. What counts at the end was discipline and dedication. So basically, I'm in the process of motivating myself to be dedicated and disciplined. And therein lies the irony. When Neeraj Chopra won the gold medal in the javelin throw, he was asked, what next? And his answer was, he wants to do well at the World Championship. I think therein lies my answer to the question of what next. I might not be the world champion at the chosen field, but the goal is to always better myself than I've done previously. I would like to believe that by the time the next Olympic comes in 2024, which to be held in Paris, I would be asking a different question than what next. You must all be wondering that I seem to be absolutely obsessed with Olympics. Well, if Lavlila Borgohain could get a new pissed road to her home by winning a medal, I at least hope to find a road to success by keeping Olympics as my marker. As the Olympics motto says, faster, higher, stronger. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
My goodness, many a times I got the feeling that now my turn has come, I have to take over. Your pauses are so strong, Toastmaster Arvind, that it makes me feel that it's my time to take the screen limelight. Nevertheless, it was indeed a wonderful speech that we heard today. Moving on to our next and final speaker, who is a doctor by profession. He loves reading, teaching, and speaking. My goodness, kuch chora hai. He is poor at sales. Okay, I got one. He's poor at sales, marketing, and financial matters. He has completed his CC, CL, ALB from traditional pathway, and innovative planning path from pathways. Please welcome Toastmaster Chauvinindo Bhattacharya. 3 stories that define my life. 3 stories that define my life. Toastmaster Chauvinindo Bhattacharya. All the best.
My first story, year 1981. I was just 8 years old. It was best of times. It was the worst of times. It was my childhood. It was my state, which was burning and bleeding. It was the time of Assam agitation. Every night was greeted with flood of fear and despair. Every dawn was embraced with a new hope and respite. Schools were shut, so was our fate. Then one day my father walked up to me and said, "Son, I have got some information about a good boarding school by the name of Ramakrishna Mission, Devghar. My dream is to put you there. But for that to happen, you have to pass a tough entrance examination." As days passed by, his dream turned into my dream. After 1 year, at the age of 9, I cleared the first All India level entrance examination and went there. From class 4 to class 10, my school molded my character. From cleaning utensils to washing clothes to brooming to mopping, we did all by ourselves. There I became a self-made man. My second story of repeated failures, story of grit and resilience, story of sheer madness. Year 1997, I passed my final MBBS examination. Soon after, I went to Delhi for junior residentship in pediatrics from Kalavati Sharan Children's Hospital, better known as Lady Hardinge Medical College. Working there, I felt I found my people, my tribe, my soulmates, the children. Night after night, I used to spend time in the hospital without fatigue or remorse. But pediatrics was a demanding subject. In those days, in all India, you had to be in the top 30 to hope for a pediatric MD seat anywhere in India. So after 1 year, I left junior residentship and devoted day and night for my postgraduate entrance preparation. Living in a 10 by 10 square feet pigeonhole, cluttered with 2 other similar lunatics, miles away from home, stuffed with few thousand rupees in hand, I started slogging 17 hours a day. Mine was a story of so near, yet so far. I was getting through all the entrance examinations, from All India Institute of Medical Sciences to PGI Chandigarh to All India entrance to BHU to UPSC, yet not good enough to get the subject of my dream. I started leaving PG seats at will. Then one day, my father called me up and said, "Son, I have never seen such a stupid person in my whole life. This is 5 times in a row you have left an MD seat. What is there in pediatrics? Why did you leave medicine? If you had taken medicine, you could have seen patients from cradle to grave. Son, you have lost your mind. Come back home. You need treatment." Alice, I was like a tired elastic wrapped around my dream. After 2 years, 25 attempts, leaving behind more than half a dozen of MD seats in all the prestigious institutes of the country. I topped the entrance examination to choose the subject of my dream. Coming to my third story of a new discovery, story of changing mindset, story of another dream. In 2016, getting a tip-off from a common Facebook friend, I joined the first Toastmaster Club of Northeastern region. It has been 5 years now, with a lot of ups and downs, sprinting and staggering, limping and crawling, and still continuing. Here I understood, I discovered I can speak. In 2019, I became the district champion of International Speech Contest. If that was a milestone, it was also the seedling of another burgeoning dream to become the world champion of public speaking. Only time will tell whether the dream will remain a dream or will ever come true. But going back in my life, I have chased many dreams, and I understood one thing. Our dream shapes our belief. Our belief shapes our behavior. Our behavior shapes our future. Toastmaster.
Wow. That was indeed a great thought at the end of us for us to take back. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chauvinindo, for this wonderful speech. Now moving on, it's time for Toastmaster Rohan will be launching a best speakers poll. Please do vote.
If anyone is unable to vote, they can message us in private chat, any of the co-hosts.
Yes. I've casted my votes.
Yeah, all the votes are in, Bandana.
Great. Moving on. So it's time, when I was hearing all these speeches, actually I was searching for this song and I found one which I wish to play. तू कहीं हार के कांटों पे तुझे मिलेंगे साए पहाड़ के उड़ाही 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 उड़ाही. So yes, this was the song which I very closely relate to when I was hearing all these speeches. Some had struggles, some had new perspective to offer to us, and some actually took us on their roller coaster ride of their life. But everyone came out as a winner. When I started my journey in Toastmasters, I had a lot of resentments because those people who joined along with me, the club, they grew as speakers and they were going phenomenal in their speeches, in their attempts. Some from the beginning were too good. And I used to complain to my mentor, yeah, these are convent girls. Convent girls are bound to have wonderful English, right? And I'm starting from zero. So then little by little, she shaped my thinking. She corrected my view, my perception. And post that, now is the day when every day is a new beginning to me. Problems and mistakes of yesterday are now just memories of a lesson learned. I absorb the energy and possibilities of each new day. Acknowledge this simple beauty that can be taken for granted and look forward to tomorrow's new beginning. This is how new and fresh beginnings are made. And today, all our 4 speakers have done that splendid job. Now it's time to move on to the second section of our meeting today.
Bandana, sorry to interrupt. Before you begin, we have a we have a cake cutting tradition by Guwahati Toastmasters. So request all the speakers to bring your cakes.
Okay. Wow. कुछ खाने को भी मिलेगा या सिर्फ देखना है? It's so yummy.
The whole cake is all yours, but virtually.
Give it to me. Wow. Chocolate cake. There's red velvet cake, I guess. What else? Who has got me cake?
May I interrupt, Bandana?
Yes,
May I
please.
request TM Nidhi to please take a photograph and make a video for this amazing moment?
Yeah, sure.
Let us
Thank
spotlight
you.
all of them.
4 of them can be together. Yeah, right. So just wait, let 4 of them be together on the screen.
Thank you, Toastmaster. But my cake looks like more like a broken heart, but it's okay.
Broken heart.
Aruna, who third speaker is Naveen, right?
Naveen, and yourself, 4 of you.
I am not able to spotlight myself, but
Okay.
Naveen.
There's only 2 of them.
I think all the married men should not have been sent a heart-shaped cake.
हाँ एक ही वाई पे कितनों को दोगे?
Doctor has intact.
Wow. Phenomenal.
Okay.
Show your cakes. Yum.
Should we take a photo? Is anyone taking? Or
Yes, I'm clicking the pictures. Already. Yes, we have the picture.
Out watering. Okay. So shall we begin to the next section? Yes. Rohan, Toastmaster Rohan, I have a note from you. Yes, I have. Don't start eating your. Okay. We have now our second section in line, which is table topic section. And to conduct that, we have an engineer and MBA by qualification, an entrepreneur and businessman by profession. He has been associated with Toastmasters for almost 2 years now. He loves music and traveling. Please welcome Toastmaster Vikas Khandelwal to conduct the topic session. Over to you, Toastmaster Vikas. Yes, I saw you now.
Vandana, just a correction. This is not a table topic session. This is a fun session.
Yes.
Right. So we will not be doing any table topic sessions here.
Okay.
So after listening to all the icebreakers, I thought let's do some fun thing, and we would be doing a fun trivia here. Right. So I would be posting the questions. I would need access to share the screen. Could the host please give me co-host access? And so when the question is popped on the screen, I request everybody to just write down the answers in the chat boxes, and then whoever gets the right answer, I'll announce that. I hope that you learn something more out of this trivia section, some funny bits. Okay, host, can I get co-host access, please? Yes. Right. So everyone ready? Let's start with the first question. And So keep your chat boxes open, fingers on the keyboard. And the first question, how many time zones are there in Russia? No Googling, please. Okay, Basuri and Naveen have got it right. The answer is 11. We are still fighting for 2 time zones in India, one for Northeast and one for rest of India. But yeah, Russia has 11 time zones. They are way ahead. Second one. Before 1923, what was the Turkish capital of Istanbul called? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No one? No one? Okay. Yes, Naveen got it right. I think you Googled it, Naveen. Okay, that's the history. You remember? Great. The answer is Constantinople. Right? So, okay. So Naveen was a history student. Congratulations, Naveen, for remembering your history. We all were history students, but none of us remember.
When you take history in class 9 and 10, then Constantinople becomes a very common what you call a name in every history of Middle East.
So for interested people, there is a wonderful documentary on Netflix on Constantinople being lost and how the Ottoman Empire won. Very good series, must watch. Moving on to the next one. Which country has the most islands in the world? Anyone? No, Basuri, not Japan, not New Zealand. Yes, yes. So we got 2 people answering it correctly. Kapil Sethia and Devika Chokhani, I believe. Yes. The answer is Sweden. Over 220,000 islands in Sweden. Next one. Which is the largest, not the highest, mountain range in the world? I'm sure everybody knows the highest one. I'm talking about the largest.
It's Andes.
Who was this?
Andes.
Yes. Who answered this?
Karun.
Yes, Karun. You are supposed to type it, Karun. But yes, you answered it correctly. It is the Andes. And it's 7,000 kilometer long, 6,962 meter high. The Mount Everest is 8,580. Right? Moving on to the next one. Now, this should be answered by most of you. What is the slang for the name of New York City used by locals?
Big Apple.
No, 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 no. You have a very wonderful series on Netflix by this name. Astha, you can also answer. I have not shown you any of the questions and answers, so you are also eligible to take part in this particular session. No one? Astha, I expect you to answer this. Okay. So the answer is Gotham. Gotham. Right? That's used by the locals. So in the series Gotham, the city is New York. Now a very funny and interesting one. What is the most common color of toilet paper in France? Come on, people. Color. Oh, before. Okay, Asra, before use. Yes, people. Yellow, no, Anjali, not yellow. Okay, time running out. PM Kamal, you are bang on. It is pink. Right? Okay. The correct term for a question mark immediately followed by an exclamation mark. A good one for Toastmasters. You should know this, and if you do not know this, this would add to your vocabulary. Okay, Asta, you are not Googling, are you? Okay, so the answer is interrobang. Okay, next one. How many times does an average person do this? Right? An average person does what 13 times a day? Dr. Chauvinindo. Yes. Not, yeah. So you're very close. It's laughs at least 13 times a day. An average person does that. So all people who think they are very serious and sad, well, you smile 13 times a day. Now this one. Coprastostaphobia is the fear of what? Coprastostaphobia is a fear of what? Okay, I have to do some counting here because people might Google. No, not yawn, not seize, not copy utensils, not cockroach. A hint, we all suffer from it sometime or the other. Okay, so I think I should go ahead with the answers. TM Naveen, you didn't Google it, so I give it to you. Constipation. So add this to your vocabulary. So what were the first ice hockey pucks made out of? No, Asta, not rocks, not ice, not bamboo. Okay, I will give you a hint. हमारे देश वाले सुन के बहुत खुश होंगे. We use it a lot. You got it right, Asta. Yes, Chauvinindo, Dr. Chauvinindo, but yeah, it is frozen cow dung. Right? So we have another business opportunity for all the to-be and existing entrepreneurs. Moving on to the next one. Which country? Yeah, there are 6 villages by the name of Silly, 12 by the name of Billy, and 2 by Pratt. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Time's up. France. France is the country which has handled confusion by these names well. Okay, good. Another interesting one. Name. What sort of animal is the mountain chicken? Common to the Caribbean. Anyone? Okay. Dr. Chauvinindo has got it. It is the frog. I have a couple of more questions. You want me to continue? People, is it interesting? Okay, great. UK's Dyslexia Research Trust is based in which British city? The answer is a little bit ironic. I'll just give you a hint here. It's very ironic what the answer is. UK's Dyslexia Research Trust is based in which British city? Okay, the answer is related to the disease itself. Right? No one? So I go ahead with it. The answer is Reading. There is a town called Reading in Berkshire. Okay. What is the collective noun for a group of unicorns? Now that we have a large number of unicorns in India, we're expecting around 150 unicorns to be there in India by 2030, I believe. Yes, Rohan, Bansal, the answer is a blessing. Collective noun for a group of unicorns is called a blessing. What is the cross between a donkey and a zebra known? Yes, Chauvinindo, don't do There is a question like this. No, not a mule. Arvind Devada, not a mule. Anyone?
Hi.
Donzi, no. Bansuri Poda, not a Donzi. Asta Khandelwal, yes. It is a zidonk. It's called a zidonk. For all the, okay, who invented the word vomit? Now that I have vomited out all these questions, I need to know who invented the word vomit. Yeah, okay, Asta, you can say discover. No, not discovered, it was invented. It was not there. Okay, the literature students should be able to answer this. I gave you the biggest hint possible. Yes, and Chauvinindo was the first one to grab the hint. It is William Shakespeare. Right? And with that vomit, we come to the end of the trivia section. I hope everybody liked it. And I hope I was able to increase your knowledge and your vocabulary. So, yep. So with this, I would like to now hand over the stage to our TMOD Bandana Singh. Over to you, TMOD Bandana.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vikas, for conducting this awesome fun session. I hope everyone enjoyed this and remained glued to it. Moving on, again on my theme, I have a few things to share. Before yesterday, on Thursday, I think the movie came out called Sher Shah. And there I saw that Captain Vikram Batra, who was earlier a lieutenant, had already conquered 0.5140 peak with his troop. But again, he took the second risk of taking the responsibility to capture 0.4875 to mark the end of this fight of Kargil war. I was amazed. I was wondering that why do you have to start afresh? Why do you want to face the same thing? Again, I didn't have much clarity that what kept him going to put his life on a stake. And yesterday I watched the movie called Bhuj, The Pride of India, where Lieutenant Vijay Karnik, he had made the entire runway afresh within three days, 72 hours, with the help of local women. And within 72 hours, the runway was up and running. This made me realize that sometimes an ordinary Indian can make a 1 crore company feel humble. For every step that they take, there's an inspired Indian leading the way. Just one deed of few of these heroes actually inspired the entire nation. And when we see it on the screen, we actually feel privileged to have been blessed with such heroes. Tomorrow we will be celebrating our 75th Independence Day. But let's not forget that our every freedom fighter, our every soldier made a fresh beginning. Every person who went to the war field made sure that there is someone else at home who is getting up ready for the warfare at the borders. Every time it was a fresh beginning, a new beginning. We have written chapters of success again and again. So with this, now it's time to hand over the stage to my general evaluator, Toastmaster Astha Khandilwal, to conduct the evaluation section. Over to you, Toastmaster Astha.
Thank you. Thank you for all of that new information, Toastmaster Bandana. And now back to our icebreaker speakers. I'm sure they're very excitedly waiting for this learning opportunity where they can convert their beginner levels to expertise levels through the reviews of their peers. I would therefore like to begin with the speech evaluations. I call on Toastmaster Shashwati to please give her feedback on this icebreaker speech by Toastmaster Rohan.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Astha. I hope I'm audible. They say you're a champion not because you win matches. You're a champion, the reason because you choose to carve your own path and explore the unexplored. Congratulations, Toastmaster Rohan, on delivering your second icebreaker again, and we enjoyed listening to it. There is no doubt that you are an exceptional speaker and a great orator. What I loved most about your speech was how you divided your speech into two different parts. And it became easy for the audience to absorb the content or the lessons that you wanted to convey. Because I find your speech very inspiring, you know, it's like coming out of your comfort zone and reinvent yourself. Great usage of language, exceptional vocal variety, I could say, great eye contact with the audience, the way you were standing and you're presenting, you're using the virtual stage was also amazing. I love everything about it, but what I was missing is you were talking about you already have a travel podcast, right? And we had time. So what I was interested was like, you know, to know more about a little bit about just about your travel podcast. It could have been really interesting to know how an introvert guy started a travel podcast, started his journey in Toastmaster, taking up different role in the executive committee, and then starting and moving and delivering his icebreaker again. So congratulations. It was an amazing speech. All I wanted or all I was looking at is a little bit of more content about your travel podcast and a little bit more about who Rohan as a traveler is. All the very best for your next speeches. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashwati. I'm sure Toastmaster Rohan will find that quite useful. Moving on to Toastmaster Simranjeet. Please present your evaluation of Toastmaster Naveen's speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Firstly, I would like to congratulate the speaker to complete his icebreaker. Our choices in life shape our personality. And that's how the speaker chose to introduce himself, by the choices he made in his life, by asking himself, what's the next right move? So he had an interesting start. He started with a quote, followed by his age told in an interesting way. Towards the middle of the speech, he shared his personal experiences in a well-structured form, started from the very present and gradually coming to the present. He stressed on certain words to increase the impact of his speech. He was trying to maintain constant eye contact with the audience, which was very commendable. He seems really comfortable with the camera. And the speaker ended his speech with a takeaway for the audience, which was very good. So there is always a room for improvement. So there are some recommendations for the speaker. First, I noticed that the speaker was standing on the same spot throughout the speech. So he could have used the stage in order to engage the audience and make the speech more impactful. And the speaker already had a voice modulation in his speech, but it could have been improved upon. And sometimes it seemed like the speaker was looking down. Maybe it was because of the device positioning that was there as he was trying to look at the audience, but it seemed like he's looking down. So he can, improve upon the positioning of the device. To summarize, I would say the speaker met all the objectives of the icebreaker very beautifully. I found the speech very interesting and the content was well structured. I'm sure that the speaker is going to deliver exceptional speeches in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Simranjeet. We now move on to the evaluation of Toastmaster Arvind's speech by Toastmaster Vikas Agarwal. Toastmaster Vikas Agarwal.
May I audible?
Yes, you are.
Good evening, everyone. And special good evening, my target speaker, Toastmaster Arvind. Congratulations, Toastmaster Arvind. You commend your Toastmaster journey today. We saw that you broke the ice by delivering your icebreaker speech. Today, I learned 3 wonderful words from your speech: dedication, then discipline, and motivation. What I like the speech is it was a wonderful opening. The articulation of speech was great. As soon as you start your speech, you hook the audience from the beginning. It was a motivational and inspiration speech. You mentioned your entire speech, how the different sports person inspired you. You ended with mentioning the Labina Boragwai, the pride of Assam. But to make speech even better, I have few recommendations. I saw that your speech was pretty much same, the vocal variety. I'm talking about vocal variety. When you said that half guard, then you can half guard, so that you impress that word. When you said that dedications, discipline, you praise those words. And another thing, you was missing that pose in your speeches. When you said that half guard, you have to pose so that audience listen carefully. Another thing I am missing, that when you audience giving the opportunities to 4 to 6 minutes, you should capitulate. Audience want to hear more about yourself. Otherwise, it was a great speech, good content, and confident throughout the speech. All the best, Toastmaster Arvind, for the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Vikas. We now move on to Toastmaster Bhavna, who will be giving the evaluation for Toastmaster Chauvindo's speech.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Astha. A great speaker is one who commences his speech with great power, sets the ball rolling, and ends it with an impact, leaving the audience mesmerized and spellbound. Toastmaster Chauvinindo did exactly that with his icebreaker today. He did great justice to the objective of the speech, and he portrayed himself to be this hardworking person with a go-getter attitude who has achieved so much in such less time. The most impressive part of the speaker was his great diction, his delivery, and the expertise with which he used his pauses. The second best thing that I liked about Toastmaster Chauvindro's speech was the smooth transition while he was describing his life journey and the way he used his hand gestures like a pro. He did this while he explained about molding, and he showed from here to there, which was really very receptive as an audience. Now, as we've all seen, he's already an excellent speaker, but what he could do better to be an even more effective speaker on a virtual stage, I would say, would be to use his expertise of his voice modulation and using the screen effectively. For example, while he was talking about his father and how his father was a little upset with him for not taking up a particular field in medicine, he could say, "My father was very unhappy with me, but I decided to rise back up and make him happy." Something wherein you, just like how in voice modulation, we increase and decrease our levels, similarly with the screen, we can use the screen by coming forward or moving back and combine it with certain amount of voice modulation, which makes it effective. On the whole, he did justice to the main purpose of this speech, wherein he introduced himself and gave us an idea about his personality as well as his career. Keep up and set the ball rolling with your excellent diction, your delivery, and your voice modulation. On the whole, I loved your speech. It was very inspiring, and I wish you all the best for your upcoming speeches. Thank you so much. Over to Toastmaster Asta.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavna. I would now like to call on Toastmaster Karun, who will be providing an evaluation of Toastmaster Vikash's evaluation of the speech by Toastmaster Arvind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Asta. And good evening to my target evaluator, Toastmaster Vikash. Now, you gave a wonderful evaluation of Toastmaster Arvind. You first began by congratulating him, which will inspire him to take more speeches in the future. Then you mentioned about the delivery technique he used in the speech about vocal variety. You not only suggested improvement, you also showed how it is done. And that is a wonderful way to show a Toastmaster who is just beginning his journey. However, I found you failed to talk about his camera position, which was too low. And I can see all the time, it seems it seems to be that Arvind was looking downward, which if the camera would have been in towards, to his face position straight, then he could have been seeing the audience. It would feel like an eye contact with the audience. And his hand gesture, which was somehow looked to me was limited. The space it was there, he could have used a much better hand gesture. Overall, you gave a great detailed evaluation for an icebreaker speech. In the end, you summarized it well. That is all from me. All the best for your future projects. Thank you, Asta.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karun. I'd just like to ask if we need to pause now for a ballot on the evaluators.
Yes, I am just launching the polls. Just a second.
Great. Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan.
We are done with the votes. You can proceed.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan. Moving on, I will now be providing my feedback to the speech evaluators, and I'll go one by one, starting with Toastmaster Shashwati. Toastmaster Shashwati, great structuring of the feedback and a very encouraging tone maintained throughout. A couple of times where you used but, perhaps it could be avoided in terms of being quite a break and, takes away from the initial part of your sentence, which was encouraging. You also spent quite some time on the feedback on content. Now, eventually, it's the speaker's wish, what they want to speak about. It's their introduction. So yes, a pointer that, this left us wanting more, but then to move on and evaluate how well he conveyed the message, the hook that he was going with. So great work overall on encouraging the speaker. I think your feedback to the point that is actionable will be very valuable to Toastmaster Rohan. You could focus more on delivery of message than on content. Moving on to Toastmaster Simranjeet, again, a great introduction to your evaluation. You made it completely your own, very well connected to the speaker's icebreaker. You encouraged the speaker throughout. This was actually the only real beginner in the icebreaker lot, as I see. So great work on that. My recommendation to you, address the speaker rather than referring to him as he did this, he did that. He is in the audience with you. Address your feedback to him. It'll be more personal. The person will be able to absorb it better. Then moving on to Toastmaster Vikas, I thought you had a great capturing of the speaker's message. You acknowledged it as motivational, so you were very encouraging to the speaker. You gave examples whenever you gave recommendations, for example, on the voice modulation. You have received, of course, some developmental feedback from Toastmaster Karun. One part that I would also like to mention is the fact that you could have spoken to Toastmaster Arvind about how his delivery could have made his message clearer. It felt, at times you were getting disconnected, the transitions could have been better. That is a feedback that you could have gone back to the speaker with. Overall, I found your evaluation very concise and well done. Moving on, first then to Toastmaster Karun for providing feedback to Toastmaster Vikas's evaluation. Toastmaster Karun, you encouraged the evaluator with some very strong commendations, so kudos on that. You gave recommendations on several areas of improvement that Toastmaster Vikas could have included for Toastmaster Arvind, so great going on that. A little more focus on perhaps Toastmaster Vikas's delivery style, on how he could make his speech evaluation more impactful, could have benefited the evaluator in this case. Now moving on to Toastmaster Bhavna, again a very strong, impactful start to the evaluation. You had great commendations, including giving actionable examples to Toastmaster Chauvinindo. And it was very nice to note that you tailored that to the fact that Toastmaster Chauvinindo is an expert speaker. So the recommendations were not about, look directly into the camera or, pace yourself, etc. Be a little more confident. Any of the introductory feedbacks, your feedback was something that an expert speaker can take further, even though this is an icebreaker speech. So that was really well done, tailoring that. The feedback that you could have mentioned was, in terms of positives, would have been the hand gestures that Toastmaster Chauvinindo was using, which was throughout the evening, on point, something all the speakers can take away and learn from. And the, recommendation that I think that could go back to Toastmaster Chauvinindo is the fact that while his pauses were very impactful, he has constantly used phrases instead of full sentences, which while it builds urgency, makes us lose the track of what he's saying also. So perhaps completing those sentences, especially in an online medium. So thank you to all the evaluators. I'm sure all speakers have, received a jolt to their learning curve from you today. And now I will move on to something. Okay, the reports from all the tag players. I would like to first call on Toastmaster Kamal as the active listener.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. So I have some different question from the speakers. So let's start with without any further delay. Let's commence with the questions. So to whom this quote belongs? Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. To whom this quote belongs? Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Anyone? Okay, yeah, Bhavna.
I just remember his first name, Ralph something.
Okay, anyone who knows the full name?
Waldo
No, Rohan, you
Emerson.
can't. Sorry?
Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Right. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Correct answer. The question is, by which metal the broken ceramic is get repaired or mend? By which metal the broken ceramic is get repaired or mend?
Is it gold?
Who is this? May I know?
Toastmaster Naveen.
Okay, Toastmaster Naveen. Right, correct. Correct. My next question is, which speaker mentioned the book Half Girlfriend?
Arvind.
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 Arvind, correct. Sorry to interrupt. Please raise your hand. I will pick this. Okay. So the question is, in which year Toastmaster Chauvinindo completed his MBBS? Okay, Toastmaster Naveen.
1997.
Right, correct. The next question is, how many years back Toastmaster Rohan has started his Toastmaster journey? Yeah, Bhavna?
2 years back.
No. Grammarian Bansuri?
2.5 years.
Right, correct. 2.5 years. The next question is, Bavi Sabi belongs to which country? Bavi Sabi belongs to which country? Yeah, our counter, Aruna.
Japan.
Japan. Correct, ma'am. The next question is, name any two players that Toastmaster Arvind has mentioned in his speech. Name any two players that Toastmaster Arvind has mentioned in his speech.
Sorry, can you repeat two players?
Two players.
Two players, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, Vikas Agarwal.
Labina Buragwai or Robert?
Robert Federer. Correct, sir. With this, I have completed with my questions. Back to you, ma'am, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kamal. Moving on now to the feedback from our counter, Toastmaster Aruna.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Today, the meeting had set the ball rolling, and there were less of catchwords and filler words by the prepared speakers and the role players. But the evaluators did have some catchwords, filler words, and some pauses. I would like to mention the name like Sashwati. She had 7 R's, 1 1 like, 1 repeat. Then Simranjeet, Toastmaster Simranjeet had 1 R, 1 and 2 repeats. Toastmaster Bhavna had 1 and 1 repeat and 1 you know. And Toastmaster Karun, he had 1 1 repeat. And Toastmaster Naveen in his speech, Toastmaster Arvind in his speech, he had 1 repeat and 2 pauses. And our general evaluator, while evaluating the evaluators, she also had some R's and ums. That's the report for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aruna. Moving on then to the grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Bansuri.
Just 1 second. At the very commencement of my report, I request all my dearest Toastmasters to proudly pat their backs for the exemplary grammatical winnings today. Friends, the ice has been broken and we have set the ball rolling for our journey to become memorable leaders. Today's fantabulous usage of grammars were infectious and splendid by Toastmaster Vandana, tailored and jolt to learning curve by Toastmaster Astha, resilience, slogging, cradle to grave by Toastmaster Chauvinindo, spellbound and deceptive by Toastmaster Bhavna, bustling by Toastmaster Rohan, smooth sail, intriguing, degenerated, toiled and visionary by Toastmaster Naveen. As I promised, I am going to be at your rescue. I will point out those mistakes where we could have been a little more conscious. It's my reason to be here, and it's sitting at the dining table. And some correct pronunciations are Eureka, character, tribe, dozen, discovered, international. It's an interesting, and it's am I audible? Instead of I am missing, it's I missed. And lastly, it's not you not only. It is you did not only. Lastly, I am proud as a peacock as the word of the day, commence and set the ball rolling, was used several times. Firstly, Toastmaster Monica used both these words over our WhatsApp group. Thereafter, Toastmaster Aruna, Toastmaster Bhavna, and Toastmaster Naveen used these words as well. Even Toastmaster Bandana and Toastmaster Vikas used the word commenced. Lastly, thank you, Toastmaster Vikas, for teaching us about interrobang, which is a question mark followed by an exclamation point. This is all from my side. Wishing you all a very happy Independence Day on this glorious eve of our 75th Independence Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Basuri. I cannot match those energy levels, but 2 thumbs up. Now moving on to Toastmaster Nidhi for the timer's report.
Good evening. Thank you. First of all, congratulations to all the icebreakers who has delivered your speeches with such confidence. You have set the bar really high. To set the ball rolling, allow me to commence with my reports today. Everybody here is eligible for voting. Firstly, Speaker 1, Toastmaster Rohan. Your timing was 5 minutes, 47 seconds. Toastmaster Naveen, 6 minutes, 5 seconds. Toastmaster Arvind, 5 minutes, 35 seconds. Toastmaster Chauvinindo, 6 minutes, 29 seconds. Coming to the evaluators, Toastmaster Shashwati, 2 minutes, 34 seconds. Toastmaster Simranjit, 2 minutes, 8 seconds. Toastmaster Bhavna, 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Toastmaster Vikas, 2 minutes, 17 seconds. And Toastmaster Karun, 2 minutes exactly. Thank you, everyone. All the best for the future.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nidhi. Again, back to you, Toastmaster Rohan, for the voting on the auxiliary role players.
Okay, we've got the votes.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan. Now for a quick evaluation of the meeting, including the other role players besides the speakers and evaluators. It was definitely a meeting. Great to see everybody start on time. Great energy starting from the beginning. Both the presidents, thank you very much for setting us on the right track. You introduced each other. You got us all involved into the whole camaraderie of the meeting. So great to see that. Sorry, I have no idea if the video got switched off. Anywho, I would like to commend President T.M. Modi for the amazing welcome to all guests. I think Guwahati Toastmasters will take that away with us. Very high energy. All the guests welcomed, response to each at the time. Thank you for that learning experience. to the TMOD, Bandana. You started with such a lovely song. You've set us off on the right track throughout the meeting. You are the anchor. You have kept the energy levels going high. All of us smiling. Great work on that on a Saturday afternoon post lunch. Notwithstanding, you have been on point. The only feedback I have for you is that you are really the anchor for the meeting. Therefore, a little more calm in your role, introduction of people, so that you keep the entire audience on track. Sometimes we also got very with you. So maybe a little control on that. Toastmaster Nidhi, you had a very crisp introduction to your role, but this is an opportunity to speak. So perhaps in future you can look for a way of writing a couple of lines as introduction relevant to the theme. Great report. You mentioned everybody's name and time. Very, very cleanly done. Toastmaster Kamal, as the active listener, a very clear introduction to the role. I think our expectations were clearly set and you have delivered on them with a good interactive, clean session on the question answers. Toastmaster Aruna, again, a beautiful intro. You inspire all of us by how you make those few moments to speak so worthwhile, connecting it to the theme. Also a crisp report, high energy throughout. Great work on that. Toastmaster Basuri, very high energy, amazing, beautifully enacted in your intro, giving us all of those errors, and we were with you throughout. So very, very encouraging and positively toned report. Great work throughout. No recommendations for you. For the fun sessions, I would like to thank Toastmaster Vikash Khandelwal. It was a great break. We've been introduced to 4 people, learned more about them. It was great to then extend that to learning about so much trivia around the world. Thank you for that entertaining and informative session. Thank you for using a PowerPoint and making it that much more interactive and counting down for us. Besides that, my only feedback for the meeting is that I did perhaps miss the role of a tech master. A tech master would have kept, spotlight going, letting the audience know where to look, muting people. But it's obvious that TMOD does not really need that too much because fabulous netiquette throughout. So great work to all of us. Kudos back to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Astha, for this wonderful general evaluations. Moving on, now it's time to say my final parting words. Martin Luther King says, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. We are all on a thriving journey of learn, unlearn, and relearn to keep ourselves relevant and competitive in this era. What if Nokia had given up after Microsoft took it over? What if Miss Sullivan had given up on Helen Keller after she flunked her first paper the first time? What if Mahatma Gandhi too had ignored apartheid racism when in South Africa? All of them made a fresh beginning. Buddha says that no matter how hard the past is, you can always begin again, inspiring everyone for generations to come. Nokia is still thriving by unlearning the misfortune, relearning from the past mistake. Differently abled word is replacing words like handicapped and physically challenged. We have Lage Raho Munna Bhai kind of movies ascertaining the strong impact of ahimsa or non-violence that can do magic in these present times. Cheers to all the new and fresh beginnings that we will undertake in near future. With this, may I please request our president today to take on the virtual stage. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Amelia.
Thank you, TM Bandana, for the wonderful session we had today. God bless you. TM Amelia was little unwell. So I would love to thank on her part to each and every member present over here for today's meeting. With this, I would also like to thank all the speakers for the day who participated in this icebreaker marathon. Heartiest congratulations and all the best for the fresh beginning. TM Chauvinindo with a new path, and each and every one of you with your new paths and new levels going high and high up above in the Toastmasters International. May I request our guests to kindly say a few words how they felt about the meeting. May I request guest Arjun to say something about it. How was this meeting of fresh beginnings? Guest Arjun, are you there?
Yes, it was a very nice meeting, though I had to drop in between, but I listened to the speakers and the evaluation. So it was a very whole meeting. The evaluation is done so that the person get to knows what mistakes he's making. So that's very nice.
Thank you. Look, Toastmasters Club Daily or Guwahati Toastmasters Club, whatever you are comfortable with. May I request Devika Chauvinindo to please share with us her feedback for the day. Devika Chauvinindo, screen is yours.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so I enjoyed the entire session, and there was not even once a moment the energy was so stable in the entire meeting. Each and every speaker, they offered such an amazing content, and each and everyone's story was very inspiring and learning. The motivation which each and every member has and the energy which each and every member offers is quite commendable. I really liked it and looking forward to learn a lot from everyone.
Thank you so Devika Chauvinindo, and looking forward that you join our club and we can learn from you also.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. We have Soumya. Soumya, are you there? And I think others have left it out. Rohan, are we ready with the results?
Ma'am, can we request the polling for best role play, please?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, 2 more votes to go. Everyone please vote. Then we'll quickly show the results. Okay.
Meanwhile, Rohan is compiling it out. Anyone from Toastmasters Club of Delhi would love to share their experiences? Most welcome.
Ma'am, the results are on the screen. So,
sure. Yeah, over to you, Rohan. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yes. Everyone, can you please guess the best auxiliary role player, please?
TM Basuri.
Grammarian.
Grammarian. Her energy levels were really high, too high.
Okay, you all are right. It's Toastmaster Bansuri. Congratulations. Very well done.
Thank you, guys.
Heartiest congratulations, Bansuri.
Okay, best evaluator. Any guesses?
Yeah. Toastmaster Bhavna.
Come on, guys. There were 5, 6 incredible speakers today. Please guess.
Toastmaster Shashwati.
Okay, any more? Okay, I'll announce it. It's Toastmaster Bhavna. Congratulations.
Heartiest congratulations, Bhavna.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Best role player. All the 3 were so incredible. So any guesses for who is the winner today?
Toastmaster Bandana.
Okay, Bandana, any more?
Asta.
Okay, Asta, any more?
Toastmaster Asta.
Toastmaster Bandana, congratulations. Such a fantastic job done today, taking care of the whole meeting. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bandana.
Yes, congratulations, Bandana. Keep doing good work.
Best speaker.
You.
Rohan.
Okay, any more? I want names other than me.
Toastmaster Somendu.
I was about to say.
Naveen also there.
It's me. Thank you everyone for. Okay, that's all the results. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sorry to interrupt. Can we just have a picture before we all?
Yes. Yes. Everyone, please put your videos on.
All ready?
Yes.
Everybody pose, please. 1, 2, 3, go. There's some problem with my laptop. I'm really sorry. Yes, we are done.
Thank you, Team Nidhi. Before we close down, let me take the opportunity to thank the two VP8s of both the clubs, TM Rohan as well as TM Aruna Sarugi, to take this particular initiative to organize this joint meeting. May we have a big round of applause for both of them, please. Thank you so much. Let me also take the opportunity to thank each and every role player. Because of them, this meeting was a grand success. Thank you, everyone. Looking forward for more meetings being held together. Looking forward for fresh beginnings in our life further. Love you all. Stay blessed and wishing you all a very happy 75th Independence Day in advance. So with this,
Happy Independence Day.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Happy Independence Day.
On the count of 5, on the count of 5, we close down the meeting. 5, 4, 3, 2, and